I'm an ex-visa officer, and you and your fiance are applying for a K-1 visa. That K-1 visa is going to let someone come to the U.S. to get married to their partner, to reside permanently in the U.S., and to convert to a green card. Okay? Now, just because you have that petition that's approved, that's at the embassy or the consulate abroad, and you've got your appointment scheduled, you're going to go in for your interview, that doesn't mean that it's guaranteed. In fact, the K visa is one of the visa classes with a relatively high refusal rate because technically, now this isn't important, but you can, this is just for your background knowledge, it's technically a non-immigrant visa that then leads to a green card in the US, right? So the way that the visa officers envision this K visa is that the bar is a little bit lower for them to refuse it than it would be for a spouse visa like an IR1 or a CR1, something where you're already married. Okay, so when you get to that visa interview, be aware there's a 20% chance that they're going to refuse that visa. Why? Obviously, there are some people who are committing fraud, but let's put those aside. Many people who apply for the K visa get denied, don't get to come to the US to get married, get put through the entire hassle of having to apply again for perhaps a different visa class, getting married abroad under a CR1 or an IR1 visa, and waiting for that entire petition process to come through. And it's because they aren't able to prove to the visa officer that their relationship is legit. That's pretty much it. All the other ineligibilities notwithstanding, it's proving that your relationship is legitimate that's the most important part of passing the K visa interview. And not proving that it's legitimate, not managing to convince the visa officer that your relationship is real and not just for immigration purposes, is the reason why the majority of refused K visas are refused, okay? So when you go in for that interview, just like we say with every other visa class, you have to be your own advocate. You have to take the reins of the interview and make sure that you present your relationship in a way that that visa officer will have no choice but to believe that you are in a real relationship for any reason other than just immigration purposes. That's basically what it is. If the only reason that you're in a relationship is for someone to immigrate, that's not going to work. A love marriage, an arranged marriage, anything else that isn't just for immigration purposes is going to be valid, and they're going to issue you your visa. But it's on you. You've got to be ready to go in and prove that your relationship is real. I know that's not very comfortable for a lot of people speaking about something as intimate as their relationship with their fiance. It's not the most normal thing to engage with a stranger on that level, but it's what you have to do. You have to be prepared for it. You have to be ready to verbally tell your story in that interview. Tell them how you met. Tell them how your relationship developed. Tell them what your future plans are, about your marriage plans, about your life plans in the US, okay? Also, have those documents ready. Have those documents that show all the time that you've spent together, right? That show your relationship, the photographs that are documenting that. But do not think that you're going to go into that interview and just hand them those documents, and that's going to be the end of it. Visa officers are notorious for not liking to look at documents. What they want is to hear from you verbally the story of your relationship. Once they are just convinced, and that's all it is, it's the feeling of being convinced that your relationship is real. Once they feel that your relationship is real, that's the end of it. They might not even need to look at all the photographs, at all the travel records, the boarding passes, the hotel receipts of your time together. They might not need any of that if you go in prepared to tell your story and make them believe in your relationship. That's how you're going to get your K visa issued.